Hello. So, for like the one person that watches this, I mainly just do these to entertain myself now because no one likes my content. Big fun. Anyway, so I'm Blackout Cobra. You know the rest. You don't care. And as you've seen by the title for this video, you're gonna be viewing my fake galar gym leaders plus custom Elite Four plus evil team and plus custom champion. Let's get into this, shall we? So first we have Axel. He was a man from a far away, well, not he was. His parents were from a distant land, aka they actually came from Johto. They came from Johto and actually knew and were friends with Faulkner's family, and Axel grew up with Faulkner, and from that he gained a love of birds as well. And so when they moved here, he wanted to catch as many bird Pokemon as he can. And as a first gym leader, he leads with a Pidove and his ace at the time, Corva Squire. Anyway, we have Alice. She's a young girl who, well, by young she's like late teens. She's very energetic, which is why she has chosen the electric type. And her parents used to run a used to actually work with not run but work in a Pokemon Center, and they actually used electric types as kind of like a shocking treatment, like shock therapy, but yeah. And so she grew up around a lot of electric types. And at this point, her ace is a Manectric, but in a rematch, it changes. You'll see all the rematches later. But yeah, she comes from a long line of shock therapists, but now she runs as a part-time worker at the Pokemart to, get to, a job. That's not like a part-time job. She's just trying to make a living for herself, really. Find a new business that relies on electric types. Anyway, then there's Bruno. Bruno was a hard-working man who used to be Rose's business partner. But, of course, when Rose became the chairman, he was fired because he felt, well, he quit, not was fired, but he felt betrayed by that change. And so, instead of working with a chairman, he decided to try to carry on the business, but that failed, and so he resorted to the last thing he could think of: become a gym leader. He didn't want to, but here he is, and he's doing pretty successful now. But sometimes he still wonders whether it's time to move on from the gym leader. Anyway, the next one, Jax. He's not a... Wait, no, is it Hobo? He's the sort of person that decides to... He's roaming. A gypsy, I guess you could say. He doesn't really have a home. He just has he lives in his caravan, really. He moves around town to town, but when he came up, he found out, might as well become a gym leader. It does stuff for him. And hey, he's became a pretty strong trainer. Although he has a bit of a drinking addiction with soda. Well, fizzy. I'm English, we don't say soda. Like, ever. Does anyone say soda in Britain? So he drinks his fizzy. He drinks fizzy a lot. He's a big fizzy-holic. But anyway, he's a ground type. He chose the ground type because it fit with him. He never really liked the sky. He just stays low. And, hey, yeah. With his team, pretty strong team as well. Probably will catch most people off by surprise. Because you go from this guy with Clang, Bronzong and Duraludon, which actually is quite hard at that, being third gym. Then you have this team. Anyway, next up is Charlie. She was that sort of person who showed you weird things. Like the weird, creepy bugs. But she grew up in the forest where there were lots of bugs, and that's just where she got her bug-type gym leader thing from. And, well, she grew up with a Caterpie, and that's the Butterfree that it is now. But, yeah, so she's very sporty and all that stuff. Very athletic, very skilled. Doesn't always make the smartest decisions. Next up is Alfonso. He comes from a long line of magicians and performers. And this is where he ended up. With his father's Pokemon, Alfonso. Not Alfonso, Mr. Rhyme. Which was his dad's, performing partner. Then you have Gallade, which is just there. Malamar being his mum's thing that was lended to him. And an Orbeetle, which was his first ever Pokemon caught. But anyway, he comes from a long line of magicians. And after his dad died, he only lived with his mum. After his dad gone. But anyway, Alfonso, psychic type gym leader. And he likes to learn new magic tricks. Anyway, then we have Lisa. You'll meet her sister later. She grew up as a punk rock sort of person. She's very heavy on the music. And yeah, her Drapion is actually something that will be explained later. So obviously she has low form, Skuntank because of punk rock hair, and yeah, and she just decided to go with poison, mainly because she grew up with a Skorupi, and, well, they weren't exactly a rich family, so they grew around a lot of poison types. Then we have Leo, the final gym leader, and the normal type gym leader. He's a mysterious man. People believe he's not from Galar. He's supposedly thought to have come from Alola. Some people claim he's from Unova. No one really knows. He doesn't speak. He doesn't speak. Not at all. All he does is, tip his hat off to you. That's all he really does. Anyway, this is his team. People thought he was from Alola because of his two Alolan Pokemon. His Silvally, no one knows how he got it, but it's Obstagoon and Snorlax. well, yeah, just there. No one knows really much about him, and that's how it's kept. Now we get to the Elite Four. First is Owen. He claim well, he is. He's a distant cousin of Brock. He is. They both went into rock types. It is just a coincidence that they were both rock types in lore, but here he is with his Rhyperia, his Gigalith, his Crustal, Stonejawner, and Colossal. He is very skilled. He's kind of like he grew up as a nerd, so his rock types show that he was able to defend himself. He stayed sturdy even after all the bullying he got. And from that, he represents the rock type in his Elite Four. Then we have Summer. She was a country girl. That's literally the only reason she's chosen grass type. She chose Rotom, grass form, like lawnmower form or whatever it is, because that was very helpful with her family. And all of her other Pokemon are just very plant themed. Like, you have some trees. Like, her family comes from a farmer. And yeah, she's a very country girl. Then you have Wilhelm, who is actually from the Kalos region, which is why he goes with the fairy types. He has Sylveon, which evolved from his sister's Eevee. All of these Pokemon were actually his sister's Pokemon before she decided to, they were a royal family in Kalos, ancient line, but his sister decided to go into, kind of leave the family roots and decided to just be more of a business person. She left behind all of her fairy-type Pokemon, and Wilhelm never really wanted to become a Pokemon trainer. But after his sister gifted him all of her Pokemon, her team, her fairy team, he didn't know what to do, and he thought, well, who knows? And eventually he grew over a bond with them, and they're here now, representing Kalos and all that stuff, putting it on the map, because no one knows of it, no one likes it. He's here. Then we have Ava, who is the sister of Lisa earlier, and that's where she gets her Drapion from. So when they grew up, they found two Skorupies, and they both decided to catch it as their first Pokemon. One of them keeping its poison type, and the other one representing its dark typing. And Ava wasn't a punk rock. Other than that one memory, they never really got on with each other. Ava went for a more, calming route. She's all about, meditation, being calm, all that stuff. And she doesn't actually use dark type because, Evil, she uses dark type for the reasoning that it's kind of a thing that she says is that it's easier to concentrate in the dark because there's nothing around. You can't see anything to distract you. It's just you in an empty void. And that's literally why she chose dark type. And yeah. Then we have the evil team, Team Ragnarok. We have Admin Lacey, who uses all music type related. She has a Chatot, she has a Cricketune, she has a Seismitoad, an Exploud. Seismitoad's there because of the rumbly things, and a G-Max capable Lapras. So she's the first admin of Team Ragnarok. Team Ragnarok is a religious thing that believes on ending the world to cure the world of sins. Then we have admin Lucius with his very regal Pokemon, and Arbok with its crest, Ninetales and its elegant tails, Luxray and its lion wolf appearance, Dusk Noir, a very royal thing, and then his Gengar from just there, for a kind of regal presence. Then we have his sister, Admin Lucina. She was very big on dead things. She studied fossils. And that's why all of her team are the 4 fossil Pokemon of Galar and a G-Max Kingler, because her brother hates crabs. Is horrified of Kingler and Krabby and Crawdon and all that stuff. She's a prankster. Then we have Admin J and L, who are in a double battle. So, and the way Copperage's acts as, it's when they have no other Pokemon, so they'll send in Electrode and Raichu first, then it goes into Greedent, then Morpeko, and then whichever one of those two faint first will be Copperaja. But it's always J, which is the one on the right, who does the G-Max thing. Then, oh no. Then we have Saint Grimes, the leader of Team Ragnarok, with a Melmetal, a Hydreigon, a Bishop, a Haxorus, a G-Max Toxtricity, and an Eternatus, which he catched and obviously intends to use to destroy the world, to cleanse it of its sins. Obviously, you stop him, and because I forgot it, the champion, Alice. She's a proper lady, and she's the younger sister of St. Grimes, which is why I waited to show her. The Rillaboom's just there as a standing, because it's whoever really, whichever starter's strongest against you. Then she's kind of a big reference to Alice in Wonderland. Then you have Lipard as the Cheshire Cat, Mr. Rhyme as Thingy, Mad Hatter, Centiskorch as the Caterpillar. The Dragapults are there because Dragapult's the pseudo-legendary. And then Melmetal, because why not? Yeah. So she's all proper and all that stuff. And anyway, to finish this off, we're going with the rematches. So if you rematch Axel, he comes in with a new team of his Pidove evolving into a Nunpheasant, and his Corphisquire turning into a Corviknight. He adds a Pelipper, Xatu, Braviary, and Mandibuzz. Then you have Alice. Her Yamper evolves into a Boltund, her Manetrix there. She brings in a Heliosc, both of the Zolt fossils, and G-Max Pikachu, because I don't think there's any other G-Max electric types. And now Brenda. So Bruno, at the end of the game, finally decides to give up on being a gym leader, and his daughter Brenda takes his place as Bruno goes and leaves the region to start a new life in Kanto. He goes all the way to Kanto, and to work for Silphco. He goes over to work for Silphco. And anyway, he gets a business deal with Silphco, so he leaves to go for Kanto and leaves Brenda in charge of his gym. So, she's kept all of his Pokemon. She has the Clang turned into Clink Clang, which I've just realised the name. It's Clang into Clink, because Clink turns into Clang, then Clang turns into Clink. How have I only just noticed that? Then she has an Aggron, very powerful steel type. Bronzong, she keeps it. Aegislash, because Aegislash. Mawile, because that was her partner Pokemon. You do see her in the game and she walks around with a Mawile, and then she keeps the Duraludon. Then you have Jax, who has both Rhydon and Rhyperior, and keeps the same team from there. Then you have Charlie, who adds a Shedinja and a Arachnid. That Shedinja's going to be bad news for anyone who's not bringing a Fire type or any super effective type for some reason. Then you have Alfonso, who adds an Indeedee and a Rapidash to his team. You have Lisa, who adds a Toxicroak and a Roserade. You have Leo, who adds a Double and a Beware, adding another Alolan Pokemon. Then Owen, he only adds a Barbaracle. Summer only adds a Vileplume. Where Wilhelm switches out Mawile for Aromatisse, because Brenda now has a Mawile, and Gardevoir is added. Ava gets a Crawdaunt. And that's them. That's all of my fake Galar gym leaders, Evil Team, and Champion. Thank you for watching. Blackout Cobra, out.